Hey everyone, it's DarlingDTarot bringing you another pick a card reading. So for today's pick a card, we are going to be going over what you have learned this November, what kind of lessons you can utilize in your life, and what kind of maybe situations, energies, things like that maybe you have been through this past month. We're just going to go over just key points, energies, things like that, and see what we get. You can choose based off of the numbers. We have 1, 2, and 3. You can also just choose off of the energy of the piles, or you can choose the crystals. You can also choose any of these 3 shells. So really, how you choose is completely up to you. Don't feel like you have to just stick to one pile in particular. You can choose multiples. You can choose just 1, just 2, or all 3 of them. Also, if you choose just one and the reading doesn't resonate with you, please feel free to go ahead and go back to the beginning and pick another. It's all up to you. It's whatever your intuition guides you to and whatever your guides really want you to know and bring into your life right now. So without further ado, I will give you a few seconds to pick your cards. And then, so first let's take a deep breath in. Let's hold it. And release. And with that, we are ready to choose. I will see you at the pile that you choose. Bye. Hello to everyone who picked stack 1. So let's get right into this and see what it is that you learned this November. So right off the bat, let's get into your animal guide card. So we have Peacock. It says, let yourself stand out and be noticed. So maybe this November, you've really taken the time to put effort into yourself, to put effort into the way that you look, into how you present yourself to other people. This could even just be putting yourself into situations where you'll meet new people and you'll be in new situations, you'll meet new opportunities along the way. This is a really awesome card. This is all about just being authentic to yourself, being true, and letting other people enjoy you for that reason. This is really not shying away from people admiring you, from people complimenting you, and people being like, wow, you are incredible. This is kind of be confident in who you are, be proud of what you have to offer. Especially if in the past you have hid away, if in the past you have shied away from that light or that that limelight or that attention, really utilize that now going into December. Let yourself shine. You have so many beautiful qualities about you. And this isn't just on your physical appearance. This isn't just the clothes you wear or your hair color or anything along those lines. This isn't jewelry. This is purely your energy. This is you. This is your humor as well. This is everything that you have to offer. It's the jokes you tell. It's the smiles that you give. It's the compassionate words that you might offer people. It's how you can go into a room and you can make friends with other people. It's utilizing, maybe your openness, maybe your ability to connect with other people. And if you haven't learned this month, then maybe you should start utilizing this. You should start doing this more in the next upcoming months. Really be proud of who you are. Be proud of what you have to offer. This peacock is beautiful. Do you see him there with all of his feathers? And they don't shy away. They're very proud of themselves. And that's how you have to be too. So for your Wiseful Tarot card, we have the 3 of Spades in reverse. This is the 3 of Swords. And usually this card represents heartbreak. It represents hardships. It represents, sometimes it's a third-party situation because you can turn a blind eye to it. Sometimes when you're in love, what I'm getting from this card in this situation is you can kind of dull yourself down. You can dull down your experiences. You can cover up the truth. You can cover up what it is that you're actually seeing and sensing, and almost sacrifice yourself in order to perhaps be in a relationship or something like that. But you're coming out of this, you're realizing like, hey, I don't have to be in these dark energies. I'm just going to shine on my own. It's kind of like leaving a heartbreak or leaving a third party situation that really was draining you and making you feel self-conscious, that was making you feel less than perfect. And then you're coming through with this. November was a really transformative time for you, and a really good time to get out of this negative energy, to get out of this like lingering, you know what I mean? Like, that's not good, to be in that energy. And you have really acknowledged that. You've acknowledged, hey, that's not healthy. I need to find healthy ways, to express myself, to be happy, and it could be that, at work even, that's a really good thing to utilize. I'm not saying, be flirtatious or anything like that, but be a people person, be bubbly, be loud, be excited, be like, hey, how's your day doing today? I haven't seen you before, but we're friends now. You know what I mean? Like, just that sort of stuff. So for your next card, it is going to be your Angel Inspiration card. And it's number 11, be tolerant. And 11, 1 plus 1 is 2. And that's about finding balance. That's about finding steady ground. That's about, finding balance between not only yourself, but maybe yourself and your relationships, your career and your relationships, your job and your family, that sort of a thing. It's just about having equal balance, equal give and take, especially in a partnership. But this says be tolerant. It could be being tolerant about people, maybe who shy away from you for being yourself, for standing out. Be tolerant of people who, might look at you a little weird. And be tolerant of the situation that you were in, that you just came out of. If you were in a situation of heartbreak or, something of that effect, emotional defeat almost, or pain or hardship, be tolerant, don't... I feel like for some people, this isn't going to resonate with all, but I feel like don't feel like this was a waste of time. Because obviously it brought you a lot of self-confidence if you walked away from this. Maybe you walked away from this situation and you're feeling so good about it. You're like, hey, I walked away from this. This was something that, maybe I invested an absolute lot in, but it was really killing me, so I have to be in lighter energies. Be tolerant that you needed this situation to arise in your life, even though it was hard, even though it was hurtful, even though, it might feel a little confusing at times. Really be tolerant of that. Be tolerant that this brought you to balance, that this brought you to a clearer headspace, that this November was probably the push you needed to be able to get on a more solid ground, to get what it is that you actually want out of life. So for your next few cards, we have the Magician in reverse, the Four of Swords, and the Seven of Cups in reverse. So what I'm getting from this is that there may have been a block in the past with manifesting something. It could be that, with this heartbreak, you were mourning something or someone, maybe a relationship. Maybe you were trying to manifest this relationship to happen, but it just couldn't. There was something that just couldn't happen, or you constantly felt on edge in this relationship or this situation. Upright with the Seven of Cups, this is usually for me someone who has so many decisions that they're a little confused about what to do. Their heads are a little bit in the clouds, so they fantasize about each and every cup, but they don't actually make a decision. But this is you deciding, hey, I'm going to make a decision. I know what decision is right for me. I know what I should be doing. I know where I should be in life. That sort of a situation. Really be patient and be kind to yourself during this during this time, especially if you are mourning, a situation, whether that be, a friendship, a partnership, a career, or maybe just an idea that you had. It could be that, for some people as well, that maybe there was a lot of harsh words exchanged in the past, and that's what caused you to feel really low self-esteem, but you're coming around and you're really realizing you're being tolerant. You're like, hey, you weren't ever any of those things. You just kind of assumed you were, because of this situation. Yeah. So yeah, don't let yourself get stuck in these energies. It's really easy to feel in mourning, especially when it was something or someone that we really wanted in our life. And have a healthy amount of realism as well. I think that you are. I think that you're kind of done fantasizing about it and daydreaming and stuff like that. You're more ready for action. You're more ready for something that's going to actually lead to something coming to fruition, or manifesting, whether that be a marriage or a good stable career, what have you. With this new peacock energy, you're really going to be able to draw in whatever it is that you're wanting right now, and that's beautiful. So for your last card, we have the Eight of Pentacles, and this card is all about craftsmanship. It says that basically that you have to love what you do, to be truly happy, in every endeavor that you're doing, really put in your creativity and your love and your passions, and it will pay off. It will be something worthwhile. Pentacles usually can be money. It can be putting yourself towards career, putting yourself towards going further in career, as opposed to, maybe a relationship or something else along those lines. This is more, focusing on maybe your material gains, your money, your possessions. This could also be still thinking about like your very committed relationships, but those take time. You know what I mean? The Seven of Pentacles is usually you reap what you sow. The time you put in is what you get back. And this is right, the Eight is right after the Seven. So, you really, have hope and have faith and know that everything's going to turn out the way that it's supposed to. This November might have been a little tough for you, and especially with the Three of Spades, but considering it's reversed, I really feel hopeful for you guys, that you're coming out of this now in November, and you're going to have a very light, very happy December, which is great, just in time for the holidays. And, even if you don't celebrate any of the holidays, it's just a good time to be with your family and to really appreciate the people that you love, and the things that we have in our lives. This can be our pets too, or things like that. But yeah, let yourself shine, let yourself stand out and be noticed, and don't be afraid to go out there and be one of a kind. You know what I mean? So that was your reading, stack number 1. I hope that you liked it. Make sure to leave a comment down below if this resonated, and make sure to leave a thumbs up. Also, remember that this is just a general reading. I do personal readings over on my Etsy page. The link is in my description down below in my bio. And yeah, I hope to do a reading with you soon. Also, I also accept donations on my PayPal, energy exchanges, stuff like that. It just really keeps this channel going and keeps me, doing what I love. And yeah, I really appreciate it. So the link for that is also in my description. Feel free to drop by my Etsy shop and also my Instagram page. And yeah, I will see you soon. Bye! Hello to everyone who picked Stack 2. Let's get right into your reading and see what November has brought you as far as lessons go. So for your Animal Guides card, we have right off the bat, Chimpanzee, and it says, use both your intuition and your intellect to solve the problem or get answers to your questions. So this is an awesome card. This is basically, just as it says, using both your intuition and your intellect to solve a problem that you might have. For a lot of people, they can use just one or the other. Some people can look at a situation very analytically and analyze it down to the very last detail. Whereas a lot of other people can look at things just from an intuitive standpoint. They can just look at someone and go, I don't know, you don't really feel right. You don't really, that's them coming up on you and really observing you, and then they back off because they see it. They see what's wrong, like intuitively. You don't even have to say anything to them. These people just know, So the idea is to be both of these things. Chimpanzee is smart because he doesn't just run up on you and look at you and intuitively feel your energy. He stays from a distance back and analyzes everything that you're doing, your actions, your words, everything that goes into that. But he is also then, with this information he's receiving, he's putting it through his body, and he's really figuring out what his intuition has to say about it, what his gut has to say about it, what his head has to say about it, what his, anything like that, because everything has instincts. It's something as simple as maybe you're walking to the store and suddenly something tells you, stop walking on this road, go down the side road. And for some reason, you do it, you know what I mean? And, you feel better, you feel thankful, you feel happy that you listen to that, so don't feel shy about integrating the two together. They basically, they're two tools that can go hand in hand together perfectly. It's a real shame for people who don't utilize both of them at the same time. Sometimes we can be very emotion based and, base our decisions off of emotions based on how we're feeling at the time, based off of past, situations as well. We can project from past situations that we haven't quite fully healed from. We can think that we have, but somewhere deep down, perhaps we're still carrying this around and we're still basing a lot of our decisions or feelings on this. But definitely use your smarts as well. Chimpanzees are incredibly smart. They are so intelligent, and they are so caring and kind towards their family members and their loved ones. Really utilize this. And for your lesson, maybe that was your lesson this November, was the idea that you could put these two seemingly different abilities together, mash them together in a way that's very smart, that's very grounded, that's very almost adult, very mature, because this is using both of those ideas, really to your advantage. So keep doing that. Go into December and maybe even the next year with this balance between intuition and intellect, between this balance of, maybe street smarts and just your gut. You know what I mean? This will really help you in life to navigate and to figure out where you want to go and what you're doing and things like that. So for your next card, we have the Page of Clubs in reverse. And this would normally be the Page of Wands. And for me, pages are very immature. They're kind of young, and not immature in a bad way. It's just that they're a little bit unexperienced as opposed to a knight, a queen, or a king. They have a lot yet to learn, but with it in reverse, I feel like you're coming out of that. I feel like you're really maturing, but you're also having a hard time accepting little things about yourself. Maybe this November has been very tough, because of, look at this duality. Maybe that is you trying to balance your intellect and your intuition, and it's really hard. It is such a crazy balance between the two, because your brain might be telling you one thing, but your heart and your gut might be saying something completely different. And to really mix them together, it takes time, it takes patience, it takes work, but it isn't impossible. You know what I mean? Rome wasn't built in a day, and, self-confidence isn't built in a day. All kinds of things are not done in a day. Maybe making a pizza is done in a day, but not this. So, definitely work on that. Work on different things in your life, work on creating a balance, and work on being true to yourself, to where you're proud of the little things that make you you. Be proud of the things, even if they're mistakes, even if they're kind of things that you're insecure about, that you don't like. Learn to really love them, that's really what sets you apart, and keep working at it. Keep working at mixing the two, and you'll come to a balance at some point. But yeah, so going on to your next card is your Angel Inspiration card, and it is number 36, Gratitude. And gratitude is basically just that. It's being grateful for all that you have, standing with your arms wide open, vulnerable, and just thanking the universe, thanking the people in your life, thanking everything, thanking just for everything that you have. You are so blessed. Even if there's days where it doesn't feel like you are, remember that you really do have a lot. You have the ability to sit down and watch a tarot reading, whereas a lot of people might not. Just little things like that are beautiful things to feel grateful for. Being able to scrape up enough money to get a coffee or things like that, that is something to definitely be grateful for. And that's another thing that you learned this November is gratitude. It's, I feel like that's very fitting for Thanksgiving, is this idea of gratefulness and just feeling thankful for all that you have and all that you have yet to have too. You know what I mean? And that's wonderful. So, yeah, and 3 + 6 is 9. So I just wanted to bring that up, that sometimes 9s can mean solitude, and this is completely fine. Being grateful even when we're alone, isn't a stretch. That isn't something that is hard to do, or, there are so many things to be grateful for. Do you have pets that you're thankful for? Do you have, did you wake up this morning? Obviously you woke up this morning, you wouldn't be watching this, but be grateful for that. Open up to the universe and say, hey, thank you. I have $10 in my bank account. Thank you. I found a penny on the floor. Thank you. I could get a soda today. Just little things like that, and more blessings will be given to you. You will receive more. That is the law of attraction. Being happy with what you already have will bring you more. But be content with where you are now. So for your next 3 cards, we have the World. We have the King of Swords in reverse. And we have Death. So it could be that maybe you were struggling with a relationship or just a situation. It doesn't have to be a relationship. My mind just goes there because, it can be really hard, like I said, to get a balance between your brain and your heart, because they're two differing things. Your brain will say, don't fall in love ever again because I don't ever want to experience that hurt. Oh my God, that hurt. And your heart will be like, oh my gosh, did you just see that cute person that walked by? Oh my gosh, they smiled at me. Oh my gosh. Oh my God. No. So it is hard to find a balance. It is hard to really bring these two things together in a way that makes sense or a way that you can trust it. But be grateful, for the two differing opinions, because it really does open up, pros and cons. It really opens up to you being able to see every side of a situation, and be grateful for that situation and for whatever is going on. So there's definitely some sort of a change that's going to be happening here, because first of all, we see the World as your first card, and that usually represents a change, a divine change, a happy change. This can also just be, almost like a passing of the seasons. For me, each corner represents a different season. It represents a different time of your life. It represents just a different cycle, but they're all intertwined. Every lesson is for the greater good. Every lesson is to be used down the road for another opportunity. You know what I mean? Or to learn from it so that in our next incarnations, if you are inclined to believe in that, we have these lessons and we have this knowledge to go into that life with. So yeah, but definitely, and 21 is 3, and that is the mind, the body, and the spirit, and that's getting those all integrated together, which honestly, I think the main message for stack number 2 is balance. Balancing everything, getting everything in your life in harmony, in balance, in happiness, because like I said, we have the mind, the body, and the spirit with number 3. And we also have, obviously intellect and intuition, and these are all kind of hard things to bring together. It's kind of like bringing together the past, the present, and the future into one thing so that you are constantly just living in the now. You get what I'm saying? It's very hard, but with a lot of practice and work and patience and pride in yourself and all that you've been through and all that you've survived through, then I think, wow. And then I think you'll be in complete harmony. But there's definitely going to be a transformation, like I said, because of death. Death doesn't necessarily have to be someone dying, someone literally killing over, like that king down there, but it's definitely something of a change. It's, death can be shocking. It can be scary. It can be, very upsetting. It can be earth-shattering. But the sun always sets and we live to see another day. I feel like those of us that are still living should appreciate the day that death is giving us this next day to transform our lives, to not continue to be the same person that we've been in the past or to be handling things the same way that we've handled them in the past. To really let go of these cycles with gratitude and with thankfulness for what all you've been through and what all you've learned. And the King of Swords in reverse. The King of Swords for me is someone who speaks his truth. Obviously he's very confident because he's been through a lot. He's mature. He's older. He's pretty fast moving as far as kings go. Whereas the King of Pentacles is probably the slowest king in the bunch. I see the Knight of Swords and the King of Swords and the King of Wands as the two fastest moving kings. But this could be someone who, in your life or even yourself, who's very, almost cocky or standoffish. It's almost like you say things that later you'll regret, not really as often as maybe the page does, but it's definitely harsh words. It's not that you'll regret them, but you're speaking your mind in a way that's very blunt and very honest, and maybe that's another thing that you're trying to integrate. You're trying to figure out how to speak your mind and how to get across kind of tougher emotions and tougher feelings and tougher ideas and viewpoints without causing a fight or without saying something that could potentially hurt someone else or, just in the heat of the moment. You could be someone who just kind of goes with the flow and does whatever, because, maybe you're just going like with the wind and that sort of energy. You could be an air sign, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, but you do not have to be. You could also be a Scorpio. But I just want to say that, keep your head up. Keep your head up, and, you have a very good head on your shoulders. You're doing great. You're doing wonderful. Just stay grateful and, really, really work on this balance, this really good mixture of what should be and what shouldn't be, what's not right. So for your last card, we have the Ace of Swords in reverse. So normally upright, this card is about triumph. It's about feeling good. It's about finding out where you want to be in life and knowing where you want to be in life, rather. So in reverse, it could be that you still have to figure out where you want to be in life. Maybe you had to go through some healing and some changing in order to figure out what it is that you truly want out of this lifetime. You may be feeling a little, I don't want to say defeated, but you don't really feel triumphant. You don't necessarily from the situation, but let me tell you, you need to. You need to feel triumphant because you have been through so much stuff in the past. Even if it's longer than just this month, I feel like you've been through quite a bit, and really you deserve to pat yourself on the back. You deserve to feel, on top of it, and you deserve to feel triumph just for the fact that you are still, here and still participating, and you know what I'm saying, like giving your all, because it could be very easy for you to just say, you know what, this balance thing, it's too much. This balance thing's too much. I'm just gonna go keep doing the same things I've been doing, my same cycles, and then that's that. But you're actually participating in this lesson, in this almost quest from the universe saying, hey, we want you to become in full harmony. We want you to be your own person and, be just happy, But yeah, I'm sorry for rambling so much in this reading. I think that this was a very, very beautiful message, and yeah, I'm wishing you all the best, Stack 2. You will do great. Honestly, don't even worry about it. You're on the right path. You're on the right track. Be thankful for all that you have right now, and more will be coming in the future. Just take each day one at a time and remember to breathe. But yeah, if you like this reading and you resonated, make sure to leave a comment down below as well as a thumbs up on this video. Also, the link to my Etsy page is down below, as this is a general reading and I can do personal readings. I have a whole bunch of readings listed on my website for both you and your pets. And yeah, I hope to read for you soon. I also have a PayPal link in my description if you feel inclined to donate to me. It just really helps me and my channel, and I really, really, really do appreciate it. But I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your day and that you stay blessed and stay kind to yourself and others. And I will see you in the next pick a card. Bye! Hello to everyone who picked Stack 3. Let's get right into your reading and see what November has taught you and brought you as far as lessons are concerned. So for your first card, we have Manatee, and it says, accept the situation as it is rather than fighting to change it. So this month you might have just learned how to go with the flow, and I feel like a lot of people make it sound easy to go with the flow, to just let things be and let it happen in divine timing, and that's really hard sometimes. Let's be honest, it can just be hard to drop your guards and be vulnerable and just let life lead you wherever it is, especially if you tend to be really on top of things to where you schedule or stuff like that. Going with the flow and just being, it can be sometimes a very tough lesson to learn, but it is a very important lesson to learn as well. Sometimes in life we're going to come across situations, especially situations with people, that one, either don't concern us, two, we obviously can't change it, or three, it's just not going to be a good thing if we force ourselves to try and change it or get involved. Sometimes it's better to just say, you know what, that's all right. I understand. Maybe you've come to the point where you're just like, hey, it's too much work fighting this rather than, just to not care. I'm not saying not care, but to be carefree, to just, not worry. Dugongs just float along with the water stream. They're just very gentle, very pure, very just happy to be where they are, regardless of the struggles that they have in their lives. They're still just content to see where the water might take them, and what they might see, what they might come into contact with, and what I also feel like is manatees, accept the situation as it is rather than fighting to change it. This also, for me, pertains to them, how they live in the oceans, but boats are constantly hitting them, so they're scarred on their flippers, on their body, on, all over them, but rather than, obviously fighting back, because these are gentle creatures, they just accept it. They float away. They mind their own business. They go off to heal on their own, not to sound really sad. It is a very sad thing that happens to them, obviously. But that's kind of the situation that I feel like you're not overly fighting things anymore, especially if it's detrimental to your health. You'll just leave. You just rather leave. If someone's treating you rudely, someone's abusing you, someone's, maybe abusing their power even, you're just like, no, and that's that. Maybe someone doesn't like you. Maybe someone came up to your face and said, hey, you, I don't like you. And you were just like, okay. And then you left. It's kind of like that. It's just accepting the situation as it is. It's accepting that someone doesn't like you, but being okay with that. You don't have to change their mind. Everyone has opinions, and, it's not up to you to try to change those opinions or try to change the way someone might perceive the world or think or what have you. So for your next card, we have the Wise Fool Tarot, and this is the Nine of Diamonds, and this is the Nine of Pentacles in the traditional tarot decks. This is all about, basically, Medusa stands and she sculpts her perfect man. This is one of my favorite cards in the deck, because it's all about creating the perfect life for yourself, creating sculpting for yourself the perfect partner, the perfect situation, anything like that. Maybe as far as partners are concerned, you should be manifesting someone, not based on looks, but even just how they act and things like that, how they treat you. You might want someone then who is also going to just accept situations and not worry about things. Regardless, just accepting situations and going along with things has led you to a healthier mindset. It has led you to just enjoying being. It has led you to, enjoying sculpting your life and molding the clay of your life and figuring out where it is that you want to be. In the background, she has all these other sculptures and all these other things. She is so intent there creating him and wanting him to be perfect. And I feel like that is very much what's going on in your life. I feel like not so much to be perfect, but to have a good balance, to be happy with where you are. I think that also with accept the situation as it is, it's accepting what tools you already have and utilizing them to their fullest extent. So maybe going into December, maybe for some people it's accepting the fact that maybe you don't have the most money in comparison to your friends, but you make them presents. You give them things that you've sculpted, that you've made, or anything along those lines. But it's really just you figuring out as well and saying, hey, I have all the tools that I need right here in front of me You know what I mean? It's up to me to really get into sculpting my life into being what I want it to be. And yeah, so make life your ideal. Make it your aesthetic. You know what I mean? You know, really own it and really be happy with where you are and what you have. You know, and you can only be met with more blessings and happiness. But definitely don't try to push situations or people or things or anything like that. You know, I think that was your overall lesson this month so far, is just let it be. For your angel inspiration card, we have number 12, be accommodating. So 1 plus 2 is 3, and 3 is for me all about the mind, the body, and the spirit. I believe I covered on this in, was it 1? It might have been 1. Or perhaps 2. But in one of the other stacks, I also picked up on that, is this theme that it's really important to be balanced, that it's very important to have harmony in your life. You know, and as far as be accommodating, this could be towards other people, towards situations, you know, with accept the situation with as it is, you know, be accommodating. And, you know, for me, that almost feels like don't see things black or white, see things with a gray shade as well. You know, be accommodating is also making other people feel comfortable too. You know, maybe if you don't like someone, being okay if they just go with the flow and ignore that. You know, that sort of a vibe. But definitely be accommodating as well, to where you allow people into your life who don't start problems, who don't start drama, who do treat you well. You know what I mean? Instead of like allowing other people in your life that perhaps, you know, you can't change the situation with them, really focus your energy and your attention on the people that you can just be happy with, and just go along with, just float along. You know what I mean? Like, just be happy. So for your 3 cards for basically what your lesson this month has been are the 9 of Wands in reverse, the 7 of Pentacles, and the 6 of Swords. Okay, so let's start off with these 2 cards. So the 9 of Wands, you know, upright, is he's kind of using this wand as a crutch. You know, he's been broken down, he's been battered, he's gone through some stuff, you know, he's been through a lot. He's almost at the end of his cycle. You know what I mean? He's been through it all pretty much at this point. You know, but you know, and he's almost broken. He's almost tired, you know. Reversed, it almost feels like, you know, you're not tired. You're not this broken thing. You're totally fine. You know what I mean? Like, I think that you're going to start putting your attention towards things that you're passionate with, as opposed to situations, especially if you were in a romantic situation or a friendship situation that just didn't pan out because the situation was so different with them. You know, you might be putting your attentions towards your passions, towards your hobbies, towards things that you actually like, almost as a support crutch, you know, maybe to get out of that energy, especially with the 6 of Swords. I feel like as you're leaving, as you're moving on with the lessons that you've learned, you know, you're definitely using your hobbies and the things that you love as almost a crutch. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's perfectly fine to fall upon and fall back upon your hobbies, your passions, the things that make you truly happy in life. You know, it's completely fine to do that every now and again. I think that's what keeps us happy and what keeps us on the right track. So for the 7 of Pentacles, this is one of my favorite cards because it's saying that you reap what you sow. You know, and the work that you put in is what you get and what comes back out. You know, this is all about reaping your harvest, about harvest time. You know, and so this could be that you're feeling really good, you know, you're reaping the rewards, you're maybe you put all this effort towards career as well. Maybe there was a situation in your career life that you just had to accept. Maybe you really wanted to be a manager because you've put in so much work, you've put in so much patience, you've put in money, you've done this, you've done that, but there's definitely something else waiting for you if that did not pan through. There is something else, because when you put in so much energy, so much love, so much feeling into a position, into a relationship, into anything, it's going to flourish and it's going to come out good. Even if it isn't in the situation or the way that we originally expected it to, or the way that it's going to arrive isn't the way that we planned, that doesn't make it any less beautiful. You're still going to get this. You're still going to receive this abundance and be genuinely happy and be proud of yourself. You know what I mean? I feel like almost it's making a lemonade out of lemons. When life hands you lemons, you make lemonade. And I feel like that's a very much the theme of this as well. Maybe in the past you felt very broken down, kind of tired and just like, ugh, but you've really been pushing forward and you've really been putting work into your life. This could even be alone. Nines are a solitary number. It's about solitude. It's about reflection and about being alone in order to do that. Yeah. So definitely don't worry about situations in your life. Just go with the flow and move on with this lesson learned. You know what I mean? Whatever you put your energy towards now, though, is going to definitely pay off. Be mindful of where you put your energy. Be mindful of if you are accepting a situation or if you're still subconsciously fighting it. But yeah, let's go on to your last card, which is the Queen of Swords. And this card is all about independence. And yeah, I know I had just went on that spiel about number 9, and this honestly fits so good with that. Oh my gosh, I did not plan that. I love how tarot works, honestly. But yeah, this is all about independence. This is about being able to do things on your own and feel good about yourself, and to, basically be okay with doing things alone. Be okay with being strong in your own right. And this is the same thing with Medusa. She is a strong, beautiful woman, and she knows what she wants. She knows what she desires, and she's sculpting it. She's making it for herself. Maybe she doesn't have the most resources around, but she's making do with what she does have in order to make what she wants, and I think that is also another thing that you can utilize going into December, something that, is very much going to last you your whole life. Being able to do things on your own might at first seem very scary, but it is such a beautiful experience to just be able to do things alone every now and again. To know that you've accomplished what you've accomplished, and, to know that you did it is just such a rewarding feeling, and it's just so beautiful. But yeah, keep your head up and don't worry about it. Don't worry about when this is going to happen, when you might reap the rewards of your harvest. Just know that good things are coming, stack number 3. And to keep up the good work, be accommodating, be gentle, be empathetic towards people. You know what I mean? Be understanding during these times, especially when energies are running a little higher than usual. And continue to move forward. And yeah, so that was your reading. If you liked it and you resonated, make sure to leave a thumbs up and a comment down below. I love hearing from you guys. Also, I have my Etsy link in my description down below. You can go down there and get a personal reading from me. This obviously is just a general reading, but I have a ton of different spreads over there listed, both for you and for your pets, depending on who you want to buy the reading for. But yeah, I hope to do a reading for you sometime soon. And yeah, I hope you have a great day. Also, my PayPal link is in the description below in case you feel generous and want to donate. It really helps a whole bunch. So yeah, thank you so much, and I will see you in the next reading. Bye!